And meet Dave Dragon.
Rocky's super against it because he's like, I want to be on a date with my girlfriend, not you babysitting you two chuckle fucks.
That would have been much more entertaining if you had said that.
That would have.
This is like a PG movie, though.
Yeah, it is. Chaotically Nerdy is a podcast made by nerds for nerds. This podcast is made by adults, for adults, and children with bad parents. Adult language will be used and adult situations may arise. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chaotically Nerdy. On this week's episode is me, Tyler.
And me, Jarrett.
And me, Ethan.
And me, Ashley.
I wanted to say a name from one of these three movies that we're going to talk about, but I could not remember.
Dave Dragon.
I mean, Dave Dragon
God.
was one.
I don't want to be any of these people.
I was like...
I'm Colt? No, I'm Tom Tom. I'm definitely Tom Tom.
Tum Tum.
Tum Tum?
It's Tum Tum.
Because he's always, always hungry.
Yeah, it's Tum Tum.
I thought it was Tom Tom.
Well, that's even stupider than I thought.
It is. It's real dumb.
So, to give you some context about the shit we're talking right now, we're doing another Bad Movies episode.
Yep.
This time we watched 3 different movies. The movies consist of Never Too Young to Die, which came out in 1986, Three Ninjas, High Noon at Mega Mountain, which came out in 1998, which is a sequel, by the way.
I'm not surprised.
It's like the third or fourth.
Oh, I didn't know it was that many, and I thought it was like the second.
Aren't there like 5 or 6 of them?
I don't know.
There's so many of them.
And then Tremors 3, Back to Perfection, which I have a confession to make. I mixed Tremors 2 and Tremors 3 in my head. Like I melded the two. I really wanted to watch Tremors 2, not Tremors 3.
Well, you chose a shitty movie.
I did. So I picked Tremors 3, Jarrett picked Three Ninjas, and Ethan picked Never Too Young to Die. So we're going to talk about them. We're going to roll to see who goes first. So
It's also important to note that my suggestion was not on YouTube anymore.
yeah,
or
we
else
couldn't
would
find
have watched.
it. So
Or else we would have watched Backstroke of the West, which is Star Wars: The Phantom Menace translated into Mandarin and then back into English. It's awful. It's wonderful. 5.
okay, so we're going to do Never Too Young to Die first, and then roll again for the whatever second.
4.
Three Ninjas, and then Tremors 3. Oh God, we got to talk about Tremors 3 last.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a way to end the fucking episode. Okay, so Never Too Young to Die.
Let's get that explanation from... Where are you looking it up at?
I got it on IMDb.
Okay, read the explanation of it.
So,
Because it's a lot.
well,
Yes.
there is one that is way long. Like there's that one, which is like a fucking mile
read
long.
the short one.
Yeah, the top one on IMDb is after a top secret agent is murdered, his estranged son, a high school gymnast, teams up with his dad's attractive female partner to stop the psychopathic, hermaphroditic gang leader who killed him and now plans a major terrorist attack. Which I gotta be honest, watch that movie. Good chunk of it, I didn't realize. I guess I missed where they said Gene Simmons was a hermaphrodite. I thought it was just Gene Simmons.
He was referred to as the he,
Yeah.
which is
Wow.
something.
Yeah,
Accurate.
I suggested this movie, I will admit, without ever having watched it.
Oh, it's great though.
And you regret your choice?
No,
Okay.
not really.
in rankings, we'll get to rankings later. I enjoyed this movie. It was stupid, but I enjoyed it.
Nah, not for me.
Honestly, as B movies go, it
Could have been worse.
It had a lot going for it that wasn't terrible for an '80s
Had
B movie.
John Stamos,
Gene
had
Simmons,
Gene Simmons had a motorcycle.
Several motorcycles.
a lot of motorcycles, honestly.
Yeah, a lot of motorcycles.
Too many motorcycles, some might say.
There was too many things going on in the movie. In general.
There was a lot.
There's a lot of mashups.
It was
think-
also a really cringy 80s movie.
It was.
Oh,
I think the thing that caught me most off guard, or that I thought was the funniest in the film, is whenever Stamos is being the high school gymnast and he's like doing his thing, and it's cutting to the dad, and like it's cutting back and forth between Stamos doing gymnast moves, and then the dad gets shot, and it just knocks Stamos down like he got shot too. And I was like,
I just
Force.
want to point out too that their name was Stargrove.
was it?
Stargrove.
Stargrove, I think.
Yep.
Something like that.
John Stamos plays Lance Stargrove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his dad is George Lazenby, a Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny because this was supposed to be like a new like Bond, like young Bond type franchise.
It wasn't.
It was not.
It was not. It
So
did not.
bad.
No.
That's what the studio envisioned it though. As. They were like,
Oh, they hoped.
they hoped
they
real
hoped.
hard.
Yeah, they hoped so hard that they
Look,
shit
a
themselves.
lot of shit will happen when you do a mountain of cocaine every day.
That's fair.
That's what this movie feels like.
Oh yeah, this is totally made under the influence of cocaine.
I mean, it is the 80s. That is what you do.
Yeah.
So, Ethan, this was your movie. Tell us about it.
Oh, it was an interesting
a
story.
movie.
It was an adventure. I had some problems, obviously, with the storyline, but with these types of movies, there's going to be problems with the storyline. But it was a lot, and I don't even know where to start here. Like, I didn't really get the feel like the she-he. Gene Simmons. I didn't really get the feel that it was
Ragnar.
It's
Yeah.
Ragnar.
Velvet von Ragnar.
Yeah.
Velvet von Ragnar. I didn't get the feel that it was a hermaphrodite as much as it was just a drag queen.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, because all the makeup and all the outfits really spoke drag queen.
The name Velvet, by the way, the first time I heard it, I internally went and like gagged because I was like, ew, that's your fucking name.
The scene where Gene Simmons does the show in front of all the bikers at the bar.
Yeah.
It's
I made
rough.
him rewind it because he missed the initial entrance, and I was like, no, you need to wind it back. We need to watch that again because of how awful that was. And he watched it, and his face, I wish this was a video podcast because his face was
Just deadpan.
the whole time, and I was like,
a large feather.
Yeah.
Boa's been out since the 80s.
To give
Can we let
everybody
him die?
a just brief insight into how good the dialogue is in this film, here's one of the quotes that's on IMDb. Look, I'm not that bad. Really. I don't know why I do the things I do. I guess it's because I love it. Do you remember?
There's a
It's
couple
Gene
of
Simmons who
awkward
says
cut,
it.
like,
Simmons.
they
Yeah.
cut when I love it.
Yeah. And then he like stabs somebody with his fucking coke nail.
Yeah,
Definitely coke nail.
Definitely.
not the fingering finger.
Yeah.
I feel like
Not the finger.
The anti-fingering finger.
I feel like this character though is the basis for like after he became famous, like midway through the 90s and then on until now. I feel like this character is the basis for Jeff Goldblum's personality.
Oh my God, that makes so much sense.
Just like random.
Yeah, I guess I don't know why I do what I do. I
love it.
I love it, and then
Yeah.
stab somebody. I mean, that's
Jeff Goldblum,
yeah. The Grand Master on Marvel. I mean,
Do you know who Velvet reminded me of? Who was the guy, the purple guy? Is purple my color?
I don't remember.
From
Warriors Virtue.
Warriors Virtue.
Yeah. Same energy.
Basically, Velvet is just like the scaled up, escalated version where violence is absolutely an option now.
yeah.
Where
Trivia on this movie. The movie was intended as a starting point for a Son of Bond type film series. Not only bombed at the box office, but was shunned by its own co-star Gene Simmons. Years later, when a fan recognized him as Velvet von Ragnar, Simmons exclaimed, "Don't tell me you saw that thing."
fantastic, Gene Simmons, you should feel fucking bad about that movie.
The next trivia is literally whenever he gets a compliment, he goes, "You're too kind. I sucked in that movie."
He didn't suck.
I don't think he
was
sucked.
just extra. He was just way too much.
He
I don't think it
was.
sucked. Maybe not actual, like, he wasn't bad in the movie. He may have sucked something, but
John Stamos
Also,
took gymnastic lessons for this role.
Yeah.
Also, Gene Simmons, could you please just keep your fucking tongue in your mouth, you piece of
yeah.
shit? That was the
Yeah.
point that I was just like, I'm done with this movie. I literally checked the fuck out when he shoved
Like,
his mouth in
it's
her.
kind of
or
like
shoved
Seth
her tongue in
Rogen's
his
laugh.
mouth, and I was like,
Gene
no, but
Simmons
no.
has to stick his tongue out.
yeah. Yeah, God.
It was shot in 35 days.
I could believe
I
it.
can-
That actually seems like too long. Actually.
Yeah,
I was
I would
thinking
give
like
it
2 weeks.
25.
Where's the fucking police? Where's the army in this movie? I have this for one of the other movies. I have a question on this too but where are they? Where the fuck are they? They're fucking nowhere. Like,
Well, they're working.
They're fighting crime in Gotham, babe.
oh my,
Does it ever say where we're? Are we in California? Like, are we in Los Angeles? I don't remember. I would say
it's America.
Yeah.
The club scene you're talking about was made up of actual transvestites
Yeah.
who gave Gene Simmons tips on how to play Velvet.
Oh, I don't think he needed fucking tips. He was already fucking fabulous
Just
to
the
start
tips.
with.
They gave him a tip.
I hate you.
Oddly enough, that's what he sounded like too.
Good. That's good. That's good.
I hate that so much. No, I can't.
Good time.
I'm trying to see if I can figure out where it's at, but
I don't.
And
There's like
nothing- even though-
Diablo Valley or something, but like I think that's a made up place.
I
yeah,
wouldn't be
even the
surprised.
long one doesn't say like where.
Doesn't matter. I was just wondering if it was like.
I just want to point out that the sex scene,
Oh yes.
I don't even remember.
it's like 35 minutes of the whole fucking movie of her trying to convince him to have sex with her. And then he gets cringier and fucking cringier every time. He goes into the house, grabs an apple, grabs a water, grabs a...
Well, he goes in the house and comes back out, and he's like kind of like tries to like side eye her and stuff while eating the apple and stuff. He goes back in and then back out.
with a sandwich. You called the sandwich.
Yeah.
You're like, he's going to come back out with the sandwich at some point.
I
and
said he was going to
fucking
come back out with a fucking turkey or some shit. and be
Turkey leg.
It's going to get progressively worse. Piece of cake.
I just want to point out that sex scene, though it might have been a realistic ideal for, people in the 80s, if you try that these days and you do as cringy shit as John Stamos and What's-Her-Face did, because I didn't...
Vanity.
Vanity, sure.
That was it's not her real name, but that's the name in the movie.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So Chastity, because she's a prostitute, and there's no fucking way out of that. So Chastity and John Stamos. Yeah, that's not how sex works, kids. That's not how sex works. Not at all. It was very unrealistic,
Yeah.
and it was way too long.
I guess I blocked that part out.
Well, I was like,
don't remember it.
halfway
It was
paying
whatsoever.
attention and like looked up. I'm like, oh, they're fucking right now. All right. All right.
I literally said to him at the start of the movie, I was like, "It's a shitty '80s film,"
Yeah.
and I was like, "There's going to be a sex scene, and it's going to
Of course,
be
it's like,
an
this is nudity. All
yeah.
right, cool.
it's going to be an unimaginable amount of sex scene because it's the 80s.
12-year-old Jarrett came out for a second. He looked
It's
up.
enough to keep my
Nerdy.
attention.
Woo!
Yeah, it's enough to keep my attention for 30 seconds.
I also
And I was
enjoyed
like,
like
all right.
right after the sex scene happened, they pan back to the guy who's over the hilltop, and he's like,
Yeah, the guy
"They're
just
done." Like watching the whole time through binoculars, just like, "They're done now. We can call in the helicopter."
Yeah. So one of the scenes after Gene Simmons or Velvet, whatever you want to call
the she-he.
him, her, he gets his like chemical weapon or
Yeah,
whatever it is.
He gets the floppy drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, to taint the city water for 10,000 years.
Yeah. And they're on top of the fucking thing and they're fighting. I have two problems with it. One, whenever Vanity flies back over, like on the helicopter, and she's shooting, she has that fucking gigantic pistol.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's like there are like you would not be able to control that in a fucking helicopter.
You reasonably, no.
Like it's not gonna happen. Yeah. The other problem I have is whenever John Stamos bites Gene Simmons' tits. Because the first time I watched it, like Stamos is on top of him, like starting to try to strangle him or something. Or no, Siemens is on Siemens.
Siemens.
Oh.
Simmons.
Gene Simons. Gene Siemens.
Simmons is on top of Stamos, and then you see Stamos bite him. Well, the way the arm was, I thought he bit his arm, like to try to get him off of him. And I was like, okay. And then I kept watching, and then you just see him reel back, and you see a tit
just hanging out.
just hanging out. And I was like, wait a minute. Did he bite his tit?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
he
totally.
did.
Just
Only part of the film I backed up.
clamp down.
Titties.
And then he throws the fucking chemical warfare over the water and has them shoot it.
He shoots it, doesn't he?
Does he? I didn't think he did.
No, he throws the
And she shoot Vanity.
No, he throws the gun because it's so like fragile and hits the case and then explodes.
That's right.
That's so fucking stupid.
Yeah,
So
but
stupid.
I did
Threw
like
it
when
over
they
the
shoot
water.
weapon. You could very obviously clearly see that it was like a ball on fire on like a line.
Yeah.
that was
yeah. Yeah.
It's so funny, so bad.
I just had problems with that because like, he throws it over the side and blows it up. Like
What?
that's not gonna release the shit into the water because he threw it over
No,
the.
no, that's just a computer system to release it.
That's just the
Well, where the fuck's it at?
okay.
In
So
the dam somewhere. I don't
so
know.
the floppy disk basically controlled the sewer system
Yeah.
from going into their water source.
Yes,
So basically, it was a
Freddie
Got
from
fingered?
Elm Street was.
it was
the guy.
basically coding to
If you didn't
release
catch
the
that, Robert
sewage into
Englund was the scientist. I was
gotcha.
Oh, he's in this movie. Interesting.
Okay.
I did have a question. Why the fuck were they all dressed like Mad Max?
Why, with all the bikes
Yeah.
and shit, we're all like,
I was like, what the fuck is this? Is like, what half of this movie is in a dystopian future where
That's just part of their gang
petrol
look.
is now a limited resource in the water?
They reminded me of a combination between Team Star and Team Yell.
I see it. There's a lot of that.
That was the first thought. I was like, oh, look, it's Team Yell Star.
no, it's Stargrove.
Team Star.
Team Stargrove. Yeah, correct. So do we got anything else we want to say about this movie?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I think
So
it's it. Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes has a 51% popcorn meter.
Are we gonna rate this shit?
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
rate it. We rate
Oh.
all of them. And
Terrible.
IMDb has it a 4.8 out of 10 with 2,000 reviews. So at least
2,000 people have
That's
watched
a
this
lot.
movie.
Yes.
Wow.
34 Metascore. 4 critics actually rated it.
4.
Yeah.
Just 4.
4. Hello. It did sound like it
Yeah,
cut
I blew
out.
it out. So like I.
Yeah. It sounded like it full on cut it out. Go for it.
2.
Jarrett.
4.5.
2.
That's me. 4.6.
Do it. Do it.
6. That's me.
That's you.
4.1.
4.1.
Yeah.
What you got? You son of a bitch.
5.
It's me. It's I'd probably give it 4.25, so 4.25.
4.25.
Bless you.
The acting was not.
No.
No.
It was
You know-
terrible.
You know you have a problem when John Stamos is your best actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's why I give it like an additional 1. Otherwise, it'd be 3.25. Because John Stamos actually wasn't that bad.
Yeah, they give him all the good lines, like all the quitty little remarks. They're like, oh yeah.
In all fairness, with the ratings, we did go into this knowing it was going to
Yeah.
be bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So,
we
like,
did.
this is probably the scores that we expected.
This is higher than I expected to score it, honestly.
Yeah.
With that description,
Yeah.
it sounded way worse. It sounded like it was going to be like a 2. Yeah. But honestly, no, it wasn't all that bad. It's actually entertaining.
So now we're going to move on to Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain, which is the 4th movie in the
I
installment.
knew it was like 3 or 4.
Because there's Three Ninjas that came out in 1992.
Yeah.
Three Ninjas Kick Back came out in 1994.
Sure.
Three Ninjas Knuckle Up, which came out in 1995. And then Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain.
You know the funny thing? Never seen any of them except for High Noon to Me.
That's fucking hilarious. That you just, oh my God.
Arbitrarily picked the 4th one in the
Is it
series.
because it has Hulk Hogan in it?
I'm pretty sure that's the only one the movie store had.
Oh,
And
really?
that was just, I was like, yeah.
That's the only one worth watching.
Yeah. I mean, probably. I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
Probably.
So here's the description on IMDb. The 3 unstoppable ninja brothers fight to save their hero, parentheses Hulk Hogan, and Mega Mountain Amusement Park from the vicious, kid-hating Medusa, Lonnie Anderson.
Yeah. That
She is not a Medusa. That's her name.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I know.
her code
Yeah,
name
yeah.
in the.
She's
the
just
show.
a bad person.
Not a Gorgon.
She's not a Gorgon. No.
And then somebody else wrote, 3 young boys, Rocky, Colt, and Tum Tum, together with their neighbor girl, Computer Whiz Amanda, are visiting Mega Mountain Amusement Park when it is invaded by an army of ninjas led by evil Medusa. I don't think they're ninjas.
Ninjas
No,
is a
no,
strong
there were
term.
ninjas.
There were actual ninjas,
They had
yeah.
ninjas. Were they action? I don't know, but they were dressed as ninjas.
It's the Wild West scene where they take off their clothes and they're all just dressed in black head to toe in fucking ninja garb and they start fighting in the Wild West scene. I'm just like, oh, okay, this is a thing.
Yeah, it's great. That's pretty much it, though, on that. I'm going to start looking into trivia and stuff. So, Jarrett, tell us.
Give us a synopsis.
As we all know, the three ninjas, Colt, Rocky, and Tum Tum, which are not their actual names. That's their
Ninja names.
I believe they're ninja names that that their grandpa let them choose because their parents call them by different names.
Go ahead and tell me, what race is the grandpa?
Oh, the grandpa is Chinese or Japanese. I'm not really sure.
Okay,
He's
now
Asian.
tell me what race his grandkids are.
They're white.
His grandkids and his apparent
Yeah.
child.
His white.
Are not
his
just
daughter.
white. They are Snow White.
Snow White, yeah.
There is no trace
Blonde.
of Asian
They're blonde.
in them whatsoever.
Yes.
I could maybe see the mom being Asian. Like I can
A little
bit kind of see
Yeah,
it.
but she at that point,
But it would be like third or fourth generation
Yeah.
where I'd be
Yeah.
like, okay.
It would it would be third generation as somebody who married an Asian and was related to somebody who is 100% off the boat from Asia, right? Like third generation is really where you start to see the difference between the races
But yeah, it was.
come in or go out.
I at the very beginning, the audio dub is so off
Yes.
from the actual mouth movements. I thought they may have been speaking Chinese at first. And then I was just like, no, they're just like 2
Nope.
seconds off.
It's like bad ADR.
Yeah, it's really bad.
this was Victor Wong, who was the grandpa,
Yep.
was his last film.
Yep.
Period. So I don't know if he quit because it was
I
so
think he
bad.
died.
Good.
Also, out of all
Good.
4 films, he's the only one to appear in all 4 films.
Not even the kids.
No.
Apparently not.
No, they changed the kids.
Oh, I love that.
They're like
they
some
actually
of them are in
the-
like 2, some of them are in
Oh, the oldest one. This was the only one he was in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that
Rocky.
was supposed to be a different kid, I think.
Yeah. Because I think that he was the same actor. The same actor was in the first 3 films for Rocky, and then he some sort of scheduling conflict, or he didn't want to do the 4th one, so they got this kid. And
You know, honestly, in watching this movie, I must say that you can tell that those kids have definitely had some martial arts training in
yes,
there. Yeah.
the middle one
It's actually very impressive.
was actually like a black belt.
Colt?
Like, yes, he was like actually like legitimately
Yeah.
martial arts.
I was telling him, I was like, do you hear how they're making those hiya noises every single time they do it? I was like, that is an actual, like, drilled in thing.
So it's funny because I was watching Cobra Kai like around when I watched this, and I was like, these kids are so much better at karate than these kids on Cobra Kai. So much better. Because like even in this where there is like some obvious cuts where they had to use like stunt actors for some of the moves, Cobra Kai, you're sitting there and you're like,
Well,
they'll be like, they're so like the girls especially, they're like so slow with their like movements. You're like, ugh, and then it'll cut, and then it'll be like doing like super fast spin kicks and stuff. And you're like, that's a completely different person.
That's not accurate.
did you notice that the oldest one wasn't doing karate?
Yeah.
It was just jujitsu.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was not karate. He was doing a mix between kung fu and jujitsu. I just found that really interesting. But
but it was,
the other 2 were doing karate. So
Do you want me to give a light synopsis for this fucking movie?
Yeah.
So yeah, the 3 boys, they go to their grandpa for like an obstacle course training thing, and then like
Ninja training.
ninja training. And at first they succeed, and then he turns the lights out and to teach them to not use their senses. They get their ass kicked, and that discourages the older 2. They're like, I don't feel like doing this ninja shit anymore. It's stupid. It's for babies. And Tum Tum gets all mad and depressed.
Yeah.
And then they go
And then
home.
it's Tum Tum's birthday.
Oh yeah, it's Tum Tum's birthday. And they go home, and there's some neighbors moving in that have this smart daughter, who's totally not Alex Mack.
yeah.
He's like
Yeah.
dressed the exact same way.
Yeah.
Backwards hat. I mean, I guess that was just the style. It was funny. But Tum Tum's inside watching his favorite show.
Dave Dragon.
Dave Dragon
Dave
and the
Dragon.
5 something.
The 5 Dragon Disciples or some shit like that. And it's getting canceled.
It's his favorite show.
It's
He
his
has
favorite
posters
show.
of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Loves it.
Yeah.
So he's like, hey, you're gonna take me to Mega Mountain for my birthday.
Because Dave Dragon's going to be there.
Dave Dragon's
that's
going
where
to be
the
there.
show is like produced. It's like on the Mega Mountain lot or whatever.
And it's so funny because at the end of the episode, whenever Dave Hulk Hogan
Yeah.
is telling people that it's getting shut down, he's like, I guess people just don't believe in heroes
Yeah.
anymore. Like that
So
sets
over
up
the
the
top.
whole fucking
So
film.
over
Yeah.
top, yeah.
Yep.
So they, they decide that they're going to go to Mega Mountain
And meet Dave Dragon.
and make Dave Dragon. Rocky's super against it because he's like, I want to be on a date with my girlfriend, not you babysitting you two chuckle fucks.
That'd been much more entertaining if you had said that.
That would have.
This is like a PG movie though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, remember this is what 6-year-old Jarrett loved to rent. Couldn't really get them PG-13 hard R movies.
Jesus.
Yeah. Anyway, so they go there. Of course, as we said, Medusa, who recently escaped from prison.
She's going after $10 million. That's it?
$10 million. Even in the 90s, that's not much.
Yeah, so she decides she's gonna hold the entire amusement park hostage and then ransom the owner for $10 million and escape on a sub.
I'll be honest. Okay, so she's going to hold an entire theme park's worth of people hostage with an army of 30 people that she has
Plus
armed
30
to
plus
the
people.
teeth.
Yes.
It costs more to get those people there and to pay them to be there than $10 million.
Yeah.
But they could have said any other number and it would have been the same. $4.
$10 billion would have been believable.
$10 billion. Yeah.
It's kind of like it's like the scene from Austin Powers
Yeah.
whenever he's like, "I want $1 million," and everybody laughs at him.
That's not that much money.
Yeah. And
Like,
then they
okay,
lean over
yeah,
like,
sure.
$1 billion.
But like even $100 million would have made more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 10. It's not like enough to run a company for a year. It's just not.
Oh, I guess it's important to note that the kid's dad is some sort of FBI agent or something like works.
He's an FBI fucking handler who
That's what-
handles hostage situations.
Yeah. And at this
It comes-
point,
it comes up
it's
later.
essentially the whole park is a hostage situation.
And people are not aware that it's a hostage situation
That's
until they round everyone up.
Yeah.
I also enjoy that it apparently has this gigantic labyrinth underneath it that looks like the inside of a cargo ship.
Yeah.
I love it. I think that's great. It makes no goddamn sense.
My favorite part, or one of my favorite parts, is whenever Dave gets done with his little show and he takes off his fucking hairpiece because it caught me off guard because I went, holy fuck, he was really bald.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't remember Hulk Hogan being that bald. Me and Jared talked about this.
Yeah. Been bald since like the 80s.
Yeah. But I guess because he always had that fucking bandana on that I never noticed
Hides
it. So I just, when I seen him as Dave Dragon with the hairpiece, I was like, oh, it's real. And then he took it off. I was like, oh shit, it's not real.
Oh God.
Oh God.
There's one of our friends that I now recognize after seeing this movie that's who they're trying to look like. And I will mention that to you later so they don't hear it.
Okay.
They're not put on blast.
Yeah, I don't want to put them on blast.
Okay. Interesting.
You know who I mean.
I can guess, but
Yeah.
I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, they're trying to take over the park. At some point, they stop all the rides.
What
And the
happens if
kid-
we increase the rate of the ride by 20%? People will start dying. And I
They were
was like,
supposed to
oh
be-
my God.
They're supposed to be being tortured, but the
It's
image
just
is
going-
obviously just everybody having a great time.
Yeah.
We paused in one of the scenes and we were looking at the people. There was on the spinning ride,
Yeah.
the one that goes up and around and then it himself spins, the seated one.
Yeah.
We were watching that and we paused because we had something, I forget what was going on at the house, but he paused it and we were looking at all of the people's faces and yeah, that's stock video of them like
Yeah,
having so
on
much
the
fun.
ride.
Yeah.
Sure.
They just put it on fast forward.
Yeah.
20%.
That's absolutely what they did. And you could tell by it.
But anyway, it's the boys decide it's their job. They have to
Save Dave Dragon.
not only Dave Dragon, but they have to save the theme park
And the day.
and the day.
Well, that's because Dave, after they save Dave Dragon, he's like, I'm going to go fix this. Like he's a real fucking hero. And the boys are like, we're going to help too. And he's like, no, you guys are too young. And they're
Only
they
adults
just,
are able to do
and then
this.
they just wait until he leaves. And then they just go.
Yeah.
Like,
Just do the fuck anyways. And I'll be honest, the kids had better fucking luck
Yes,
doing
he
things
got
than
knocked out
Dave
like
Dragon.
3 or 4 times
Yeah.
in the movie.
because
knocked out
he's a
cold.
fucking actor.
I know, but it's
It
so
makes
funny.
so much.
Because he's trying to be like this good guy hero, and he just keeps getting knocked the fuck out. And these three kids just running around being like, yeah.
Beating the shit out of everybody.
And at some point, they end up at a Wild West stage show type exhibit where they have this insane battle with these three other adult humans.
I love the commentary from the one guy in the crowd where he's like, "This again every year. You'd think they'd change it," and then out pops the door
He even
with
says-
the ninja and the
He
one
even
kid.
says, next year we're going to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They name drop a bunch of shit in this movie. You're like,
Yeah.
how the fuck? There's no way we could do this now.
No.
My biggest problem with the fights is the fact that the adults aren't like just ragdolling Tum Tum.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You put a fucking 6-year-old up against me, I am chucking that
He's
kid
not
through
even
the wall.
6.
When
Is
he's like something like that, I don't know. When he's hiding in like the clothes on like he's like he shoots out of it like to do a drop.
Dude, I kept watching it and I was like, when is somebody gonna grab this kid by the neck and throw him through a wall?
I just want to point out at the end when the all of the adults are wearing night vision goggles. Night vision goggles, right?
And they have
and
to
the kids are like all walking around with their eyes closed and they're punching, right? I was looking at that scene going, "You have a fucking gun and night vision
That
goggles.
was the funniest.
Why are you getting so fucking close to get your ass kicked by a 6-year-old?"
so bad.
Because it's a PG movie and they can't show killing kids.
Just an AK-47 unloads on the kids. You just see them sit there and just fall.
They can't do that. No balls. Just fucking shoot them.
Well, at one point when they're like open up their duffel bag of like weapons and stuff, they like take a couple guns out and then there's like katanas and ninja stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? Why?
If you have access to guns,
If you have access to modern weaponry, why
Why
are we?
swords?
Why are throwing stars?
But also I'm like, they don't have to be ninjas. They can just get their ass kicked.
Yeah, they don't. Why does everything has to
It
be
actually makes it
ninjas?
more believable if they're not also ninjas.
yeah, because if they were ninjas and they lost to child ninjas, I'm then more upset.
You have brought shame upon your entire family, your entire clan.
And whenever they do have the guns and the police start going up to the main gate for Mega Mountain, and they start shooting at them with fully automatic weapons, and then they back off. Where's the military coming in? There's no military that comes in at all.
They sent in the SWAT, which is the SWAT team had no helmets on.
No
They
helmet.
had no PPE on.
You
And
know-
I was just like, what the fuck?
You know my favorite thing is when they're gonna try and climb the fence and they have put like car batteries up on it and it electrocutes the guy as he tries to climb the fence.
Oh, God.
Like, you could have killed that guy. And a PG-13, you can't do that now because that guy is dead.
Yeah, it was so
they didn't
funny.
hook it to car battery.
What was it? Is it-
They hooked it to the high voltage, like when they go through the
Oh, yes,
rides.
yes.
That would have murdered that guy. Yeah.
That would have been equivalent to climbing up the fence at the fucking T-Rex exhibit, flipping the switch in Jurassic
problem is
Park.
Those fences, they're not made out of steel though.
No.
Yeah.
They're aluminum.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even carried
Anything.
any current anywhere.
Yeah. It was really funny. I was just
It
like,
was.
Oh, and let's not forget about the Medusa's nephews.
Oh my god, those were the best. Like,
I enjoyed those guys.
They were
Yes.
great.
They were terrible but hilarious.
it reminded me of what's the dude in Cobra Kai? You know who I'm talking about? It's
Oh,
the old like the-
Stingray.
yeah, they reminded me of Stingray and Cobra Kai because they don't belong.
Yeah, you're like so out of place. You're like, what the fuck are you doing here?
And the one really fat one who they still call a ninja, he's not a ninja.
I bet you he can't even lift his leg up high enough to fucking kick you in the shin, let alone the face.
The only ninja he's ever been a part of is like the blender.
Yeah. Yeah.
Making meatballs.
Aw, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But eventually, Amanda, the smart neighbor girl, hacks into the system somehow, and
God, the hacking.
The hacking
God,
was
the 90s hacking.
perfection.
takes over the rides from Medusa's hacker. So she regains control,
Of all but one ride.
Yeah.
You mean the Medusa's hacker, the Rastafarian?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jamaican Rastafarian.
Yeah, him.
It was a very diverse group.
It was. I mean, props to
She
them.
was equal opportunity.
Yeah.
She was.
And then Rocky fights Jim Varney on top of the ride.
She was equal opportunity. She even
You mean Ernest? Ernest with a katana.
Yes.
Are you guys talking about on top of the Ferris
Yeah.
wheel
Yes.
scene? Oh, that was.
And Rocky's
that
like,
was, they held on to each other, and then he flipped him off. And the thought that I had when I was watching that scene is that guy would have grabbed him. He would have been down too. There's no fucking
and
way.
either
Well,
way, it doesn't
listen,
matter. They
we're
fall
not
into
using a lot of
truck,
logic.
They fall into like a landing pad of hay and boxes.
Yeah, it's Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would have still died.
Yeah.
Yes, because that would not have softened the fall at all.
Well, there's actually an air up mattress crash pad underneath that you can't see. But yeah.
No, I know that, but in the story it wasn't there.
No, in the story it was there too.
No, Ernest died that day.
That's how he becomes Ernest.
Yeah.
That's just,
It brain damage. You've never seen any of the Ernest movies, I know, because we talked about it. I was like, that's Ernest
Yeah.
from Ernest Goes to Camp or any other.
Any of the other ones.
Ernest goes
They're
to
all
whatever.
shitty.
And then there's a bomb
Oh yes,
that
there's
they
a bomb.
attach to its oxygen tanks, right?
Yes.
No, they attached it to.
Well, no, we would just shoot it out.
It's
at the
something.
end.
It is
Yeah,
something with
yeah.
pressurized.
Yeah, so they had a bomb that was set up by Medusa on her way out because Amanda was tied up to the pipe that it was next to.
Yeah.
And in order, which by the way, the time frame that we're talking about here is they had like 4 minutes
Yeah.
to get this
And
bomb.
it takes like 15 minutes for
And they
this.
take like 10 to 15 minutes to strap the bomb, to tape the bomb to 3 oxygen tanks.
Where did they get the duct tape? First of all,
They was just laying around.
It was just laying
up
there.
top above where they went down the ladder.
So they duct tape this bomb to to 3 oxygen tanks
Yeah.
that is going to shoot directly out into the ocean,
Uh-huh.
right? Hulk Hogan shows up because Tum Tum can't smash
Yeah, the kids can't break off the ends to
the
valves.
regulator
Yeah.
valves. So Hulk Hogan shows up and in one fell swoop hits all 3. And the
That's my favorite
oxygen
thing.
bomb goes all the way out across the bay and directly into Medusa's
It's like
ship.
a mile up to
It had like
sea.
5 seconds left to go a mile.
Yeah.
Let's
Oh my God.
let's throw a small bit of logic here too, though. You shouldn't hit just a small bit. You shouldn't hit oxygen tanks with anything
No.
because oxygen is like
Especially-
Flammable.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Highly.
yeah,
Yeah.
And one little spark from the metal on metal could really have fucked up their
Maybe
day.
it was CO2.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But
But anyway, you ever been around one of those tanks? You can't just knock the
No.
fucking top off of it.
But he's
3 at a
Hulk
time,
Hogan.
but it's Hulk Hogan.
you can't just
27-inch pythons, bud.
Oh God. If this was a video format, I just want to point out that Jarrett literally did the whole guns and then around his bicep and everything. Yeah.
pushing it up.
Okay.
You gotta lift up the wings.
lifts up the wings.
Yeah,
But then it explodes and hits the ship. And I guess the only people who do die is Medusa.
Yeah.
'Cause her
think
ship-
she's
Brownies.
yeah.
Well, no, they jump off the ship.
Oh, they do jump on the ship.
They jump
that's
off the
right.
ship
Yeah.
before it hits because she's
Yeah,
like,
because she
"Jump!"
washes up on shore, right?
her and her nephews. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
and they all get picked up by the FBI because
I-
of course they're waiting.
I do love like the explosion type that they do in these types of movies, though, because the whole ship blew up everywhere all at once.
Mm-hmm.
The whole the whole deck just went like into the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful.
So good. So
Yeah,
funny.
makes no goddamn
What
sense,
trivia
but
you
it's
got?
hilarious.
What trivia you got?
Well, I didn't. There's not really any trivia. So the ratings, 50,000 people have watched this one on Rotten Tomatoes. There was
see.
only 100 people who rated Never Too Young to Die.
Yeah.
Never Too Young to Die with 51% with like 100 plus people. This is 29% with
Yeah.
50,000 people
Wow.
for the popcorn meter. IMDb is. I'm still on goofs. It's a 3.0 with 12,000 reviews. And so let's move on to ours.
Okay.
And by the way, this is one of the few movies that you can watch on Tubi.
Yeah.
It is free to watch if you wanted to deal with ads and whatnot.
Oh, you can watch Never
Too Young
to Die on YouTube.
YouTube.
It's free
it's
on
free on
YouTube.
You can also find Tremors 3 on YouTube.
Yep.
Oh, interesting. So that was me. I give it like a 6.5. I loved it. It was one of those that I could have, like, I made the pilot watch it with me that day, and he said, this is something I would have watched as a kid. A lot.
You made John Blackthorne watch
No, not Anji.
Yeah, Anji.
That's what I'm going to start calling him when I'm at work.
Call him Anji.
I'm going to walk in and go, what's up, Anji?
Called him the pilot. Like,
Anji-sama.
Anji-sama.
He might think you're hitting on him at that point.
Might.
1, Jarrett.
I'm going to give it a 10. No, I'm kidding.
Fucking 12.
It's 11. I don't know. It'd be like a 6 3/4. This is a highly enjoyable movie for me. I love it.
1.
I'll go with 5.5. I think it's honestly really entertaining, but I can't give it any higher because it is utter shit at the same time.
It is.
It's really bad. But the kids are really entertaining because they're actually really good at the moves and stuff, and they're really athletic, and it's really cool.
Yeah, and that's actually why I'm going to rate it a 7.2 because
you're the highest.
I agree that this absolutely would have been a movie that I would have sat down and watched as a kid.
Yeah.
Of the 3 movies that we had to watch, this was by far my favorite.
Oh, absolutely.
By far the easiest to watch for
Yes.
me. This is something that I would actually let my kids watch.
Sure.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't let them watch Warriors Rich.
I mean, if I want to fuel their nightmares, yes.
They'll stop wearing purple. Just like no, purple's
Is
not my
purple
color
not-
anymore.
Evelyn will never stop wearing purple. Let's be honest here.
And then she'll be doing that. She'll like lay
Is
down
purple
on the bed.
my color,
Is
mother?
Purple my color.
Just runs in the room, lays down on the floor.
Is purple my color, mother? I could see her doing it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Get off the floor.
Yes. What the fuck are you doing? Get up.
All right. So the last movie is the movie I picked, which was Tremors 3. And like I said at the start, I kind of fucked up and mixed up some scenes and thought I was talking about Tremors 2.
Yeah, I fucked up.
So if you've never watched the Tremor series, it's about people who live in a certain area that's like a desert. There are these.
Nevada.
Is that where it's at?
Yes.
I don't remember. There is a monstrous creature that they have named the Graboids.
Graboids.
That are giant worm-like creatures that sense vibrations in the ground.
So essentially, it's a shitty version of Dune. Okay, got it.
Basically,
without the spice.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, it really is.
They're small dune worms. Yeah.
Honest to God, that's
Dune
what they are.
without the spice. Got
Yep.
it.
And
It's pretty spicy.
so that's Tremors 1 is spent by fighting those. Tremors 2 is where they evolve, and now they're above ground creatures who have thermal imaging.
Oh, I love that.
Called Shriekers.
Yeah, called Shriekers. And then Tremors 3 is where they evolve again. And this time, they still have the thermal imaging.
Yeah.
But now they are combustible.
And they have chicken wings.
And they have chicken wings, and they can shoot flames out of their ass.
Yep.
And fly.
So they're called
Ass blasters.
Back to perfection,
How-
of course.
How creative.
That's the funniest part is that they're called ass blasters, and the name is Tremors 3 Back to Perfection.
Yes. Correct. A little bit of trivia. So the Asian lady's grandpa from the first one,
Yeah.
that's the grandpa from Three Ninjas.
Is
Same-
it?
Yeah.
It's the same guy.
Yeah.
Victor Wong?
It's Victor
Yeah.
Wong.
Whoa. Look at that.
He's the one who came up with graboids. I was like,
Look at that.
that's a neat little like connective tissue.
Yeah.
I
So
don't like that phrasing.
Connective tissue?
Neat little connective tissue.
uh,
Oh, God.
the movie for this movie, it pretty much follows Burt Gummer.
Yeah.
Gunmer or Gummer? It's Gummer. Who
I always
is,
thought it was Gunmer.
I always thought it was too.
This Gummer.
It's Gummer. Who is a survivalist.
He's a libertarian.
He's a
He's a
libertarian.
libertarian.
He is a libertarian survivalist.
Yeah.
We'll say it that way. Who
Gun nut.
He's a gun nut.
he is a gun nut, that's for sure. He is the one that's trying to keep everybody alive from these. Like he set
Yes.
up radio waves that can track them. He's done a whole
Because
list
they've
of
slowly
things.
lost the other people. Like, so they had the first one, they had Kevin Bacon
Yeah.
And I forgot. It's like Fred something. Not Fred Durst. That's
I don't.
it's not. But the other guy, and he
Fred
comes back for the
Savage?
second. No, and he comes back for the second one, and then he's like, "Yeah, it's still this is garbage. I'm not doing these anymore."
Yeah.
So
It is garbage.
like Michael Gross is the only one that will come back for every single movie. So they're like, Burt Gummer is now the main character of the
Yeah.
Trimmers universe.
I always felt like he was the main character.
He was.
He really
was the
was.
best.
In the first two, he was like a quirky side character that was like,
But he was my favorite.
but
the
he was
favorite.
he was
Yes.
the best.
And then they were like, we're going to transition him to main character status.
Yeah. And so they have to figure out how to fight the ass blasters. Mm-hmm. And in the midst of doing that, they go hide out in Bert's like emergency
Shelter.
which is just his basement essentially. They're locked in a safe. The ass blasters. He's got like enough food to last
Yeah,
him
he's
like
got-
300 years, is what he says, or some shit
No,
like
it's
that.
like 7 years for like 3 people. He's like, it lasts like 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, and they start melting down the door.
They're like Jedi with lightsabers. They can just concentrate their
Jet
ass.
fuel doesn't melt steel beams type of situation?
Yes.
Kind of.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
But they're melting down the door, and they go, "Oh shit, let's go down this slide that I have to get out."
A slide.
The emergency
I
slide.
love
Look at
the
emergency
emergency
slide.
slide.
He's like, and then we're gonna leave all this fucking gunpowder out, and they're gonna blow themselves up. So they blow
No,
them.
gasoline.
Is it gas? It is
Yeah,
gas.
it's
It's
gas.
gasoline.
It's gasoline.
He opens the fucking can of gasoline and
starts
leans it
dumping
against
it
the
out.
door.
Yeah.
And just goes, yeah, when they blow through, it's just going to fucking
Yeah.
blow them up.
Yeah, and empty the room of oxygen.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what would happen.
And so as they escape, and then it blows up,
Yeah.
Bert gets all depressed because he just lost all of his
Stuff.
life savings essentially.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
And someone comes over the radio and like, "Oh, if you just feed them, they'll overeat and go to sleep."
He's like, son of a bitch.
So if they would have just left it alone and let it eat all of his food, they would have been fine. The worst part about this movie,
The whole thing.
besides the whole thing, by far is the fucking CGI.
Oh, like El Blanco.
Yeah.
Every time El Blanco comes out, you're like, oh, God.
Yeah.
I don't remember it being this bad.
That
It's really bad.
like the ass blasters just flying.
Back
It looks
to
so bad.
back to the Gladiator 2 conversation where CGI and practical effects.
This is a different animal.
Listen, if someone told me information that this was the first use of CGI, I would believe it.
No, see, I always say the first use of CGI is Beast Wars. That is the first.
It's really bad.
It's so bad.
It's really bad. But I mean, this one, it's like there's static images moving over the screen. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this movie in a hot number of years, so
Yeah.
This was a nice little nostalgia trip. I was like, oh my God.
I do remember the ass
we didn't
blasters.
rewatch this one for the show.
No,
Gotcha.
I watched this movie with my ex-husband actually back when we first got together because he was like, "I want to watch Tremors," and I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" But I do remember the ass blasters.
Yeah.
I do
It's
remember.
hard to fucking forget the ass.
Yeah,
blast.
it's
Yes.
hard to forget the
Yeah.
term ass blaster.
Yes,
Fuck, I was going to say something and then I completely forgot.
ass blaster.
But Ted,
Oh, the guy that is doing the graboid tourists.
oh, Jack.
Yeah.
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 He's just fucking dragging the people around. He's got that guy standing out in the dirt, just fucking blowing shit up.
Then blowing up. He's like, he's like a compressed air hose. He's just blowing.
Yeah, and
he's
he
like
just-
shooting dust out of a cylinder.
Yeah. It's
You're like,
top
oh,
notch.
yeah, this is really shitty.
But
God.
why?
What
For
year
money.
did this movie come out?
2000?
2001.
Yeah.
Oh,
Turn
God
of the
bless.
century.
God fucking bless
Yeah.
it.
Lord of the Rings time frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have. If I didn't know that beforehand, I would have thought this was like 94, 93.
90.
No. First one was
90.
in 91
Yeah,
or something. And then they kind of like waited like 3 or 4 years.
yeah.
I
But I
was
mean, just for the
90.
quality.
Sure. 90. And then like 90 something. Yeah, it was.
It was an anachronism because it was a 90s movie that was made in the 2000s.
Apparently, this is Michael Gross's favorite Tremors movie.
I can imagine it. I
I
can
mean,
see
how many
it.
times did he say the term ass blaster?
It's a lot.
Yeah, then I can understand.
You got paid for that shit, too.
Yeah.
You got paid. You got paid.
You get
I
paid,
get paid to say ass
to
blaster.
act about ass blaster. Fuck yeah.
I'd be in a Tremors movie right now.
Oh, it was the first time a Tremors film had used CGI to make a graboid.
I'm pretty sure because I was pretty sure when the originals were all puppets or practical.
The graboids seen in the previous films were full-size puppets and at quarter-scale miniatures. Some of the Shriekers seen in Tremors 3 were also CGI, as well as some of the Shriekers seen in Tremors 2. However, due to software compatibility problems, the Shrieker CGI for the second film could not be used again. Interesting.
Also, yeah, there was a whole plot of like where they were supposed to have Shriekers in this movie, like in perfection, and they just cut that whole plot.
Yeah.
They're like, it's already too long. We have to cut this out. We're just gonna. You've seen him at the beginning of the movie. You've seen him in the second one.
Yep, but this is the first one where they deviate from trying to take it seriously to just being
A
mostly
goof and ass
goofy.
movie.
Sure, it's definitely jumped the shark.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. Because the first two movies, they tried to take it seriously.
Kind of. Yeah.
Way more in the first one than
Yes.
the second one, but they still tried to take it
The
seriously.
first one's almost like a horror movie in a way.
And they film it that way.
Yeah.
It feels almost like one,
Yeah.
but it's not really because it's not. You can't take it seriously.
There is one line that I like that comes from, like, it's in between Bert and I think it's the woman. I don't remember her name.
I forgot her name too.
But they're stuck in the, like, abandoned shipyard or whatever you want to call it, and they're in like a trailer.
junkyard, yeah.
Yeah, they're in a trailer, and Bert just keeps saying, "Oh, if I only had my gun," and he says it like 6 times.
He does.
Yeah.
And finally, the woman gets fed up and is like, "Bert, you don't have your gun. Shut up." And I was like, "That's so fucking realistic that somebody would just get tired of you and say, shut the fuck up.
Shut the actual fuck up.
What can we do?"
Then they make a potato gun.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's so good.
Most of the trivia on this is about Bert's guns.
I imagine. There, what were we were doing something where the walls. We were talking about something in the last recording session about walls getting exploded and should have killed people. What were we talking about?
That was Shogun.
Was it Shogun?
It reminded me because I had just watched Tremors 3, and there's a scene where they're in the trailer and they fucking explode.
Yeah.
The ass blaster. And it fucking rains shrapnel back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, they would have died.
Yeah, they would have died.
It was so fucking. But it's like the walls were made of paper,
Yeah.
and then they blow up another one inside the trailer,
Yeah.
and the interior wall stands still standing. I'm like, what the fuck is this interior wall made of? Fucking steel?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, you can't blow up, like, a body of a creature that has a skeleton.
Ass blasters can't melt steel beams.
No, but aluminum walls can be shredded by bone shrapnel.
So that's all I've really got. Like, they end up winning, and they end up saving one.
El
They use
Blanco eats the last one.
no.
It's not a
they
com-
they have one that they use as a tourist.
Yeah.
The one that the people fed.
I mean,
and
yeah, but like they
made
say,
it
like
sleep.
they eat the last one that's in the junkyard.
Yes.
El Blanco to the save, like, and then that's like,
It's not a complicated
The original.
story.
yeah,
It's not a complicated movie.
No.
It's very basic.
But also that El Blanco never referenced again. I don't think.
it's
I
no
don't
longer,
think it is
I
after that.
haven't seen any of them past 4.
It's no longer horror. It's just a monster flick. Yeah.
So now on to the ratings. IMDb, it's actually the highest rated of the ones that we've talked
is.
about today. It's
a
a
little surprising.
5.3 out of 10 with 19,000 reviews. Rotten Tomatoes, it actually has a tomato meter.
No shit. It ate it.
80%.
What? I mean, you know what?
Critics fucking love this movie, apparently. And the popcorn meter is a 34% with 25,000 reviews.
It's probably because this movie didn't take itself as seriously as the other ones, and they were like, "Yeah, okay, cool. Like it's goofy. We're going with the goofy."
they
We
definitely
can be
did
on
go
board
with
with
Goofy.
Goofy, but we can't be on board with people taking shit seriously that is
that bad.
bad.
Not
It's not serious.
All right, we can roll for our ratings.
1.
Oh, I got to go first. I give it a 3. I didn't realize. Listen,
Oh.
okay.
Is that the lowest of
3.
all the movies?
That made it lower than
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then John
Never
Stamos is-
Too Young
Yeah.
to Die.
Yeah.
You really didn't like this movie.
So,
You were just more disappointed it wasn't the one you wanted. It was
no,
two.
not even that. I mean, yeah, I was disappointed it wasn't the one I wanted. But I remember watching this movie as a kid and thinking it was fucking awesome and loving it.
And then growing up
And you
and
didn't
watching
ever
it
have
again.
the realization that was a bad movie?
Exactly.
Oh, you didn't.
So I was
oh,
like, I
you're
know,
just dumb.
I know in my head it's bad. Like
Yeah.
I knew it was bad, but I thought it was better than
No.
what it actually was.
See.
I thought it would have been like a 5.
I recommend all these movies. I know they're bad. I'm like, oh, they're bad.
No, this one
I love 'em.
I knew it was bad.
Yeah.
Like I knew it was bad. Didn't realize it was that bad. And the CGI is 100% what takes that away.
I'll give it a 5.5.
Wow, really?
It's solid.
Oh, that's me. I give it a 3.4. I didn't like it enough that I didn't watch it.
Ethan.
Oh, thank you. I'll probably give it. I remember enjoying this a lot. I'll probably give it like a 5.2. Yeah.
Like 12-year-old me probably would have gave it like a 6. Because I remember like
12-year-old me would give this like an 8.
me,
I love the Shadows movie when I was a kid.
me and Taylor Burge
Yep.
binged this shit.
Yeah.
Like every time we would hang out, he's like, "Hey, let's watch
Burge.
Tremors," and we would watch at least one of them, if not all of them.
We just want to see the guns.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, he is Burt Gummer to a fucking T.
Oh, I know he is. Yeah, I've met Taylor.
If Graboid's real, he'd be the guy. I'd be like, hey, I need one of them guns. I need one of them
I hate to
boomsticks.
tell you, he would be like, "No."
I'll be like,
He would absolutely, because we've had this conversation about zombies.
he's like, I'm gonna
He's
hoard
like,
them all.
first of all, y'all can fuck off. That's his like response to
Them's
it.
my guns.
And I was like, you can't shoot more than 2 at a time.
He's like, fair.
And he's like, yeah, but I can have them all loaded.
But I can have them locked and loaded.
That's basically,
Yep.
he's like, I can shoot, throw them to the side, and get the
Done
next
pile.
one.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And I think,
Done pile.
God forbid that ever actually happened, that's what he would do.
Yeah.
He would have his wife be loading the max, and he would just throw the guns to the side.
Mm-hmm.
I would watch that movie with Taylor Burge and his wife just loading guns and killing zombies.
Yep.
I would watch that movie.
All right, so everybody remember to share this with your friends. We're going to start a Kickstarter to make that movie.
yeah.
I think Taylor would be on board.
I know he would.
Yeah, he'd love that shit.
The only problem is getting him to use blanks.
Getting him not to sing,
to shoot somebody.
Not to actually send rounds downrange. Yeah. Yeah.
like keeping it within the
We're gonna-
censors
Taylor.
ratings would be a problem.
Burge,
too.
I really, really don't want to get shot today. Please use these blanks. No, don't worry about it. I've already loaded everything up. We're good to go.
I got my own blanks. We're good. I promise. Okay, that will wrap up this episode of Bad Movies. Hope you enjoyed it. We appreciate you guys listening. I enjoyed it.
Oh, I
I enjoyed watching all the movies.
No.
Raucous time.
All of these movies were way more watchable than Lucy.
Yeah.
It's true.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you definitely did better on your movie selection this time.
Yeah.
I'll be
Yeah, you're
honest. Cry Wilderness is also on the Lucy list of things
Oh,
that I would not watch
Yeah,
again.
it is.
Well, I wouldn't watch it again if I had to. No.
Yeah, that,
Unless I was like gun to your head, I was like, sure, I'll watch it.
listen, there's not any
No.
of these movies
Shoot
that I'm
me.
really going to actively be like, yeah, let's watch again.
Paul,
But
your
if for some
father's
reason
in
I had to watch
danger, Paul.
some of these movies again, I could.
Yeah.
You need to help.
All right. We appreciate you guys
Well,
listening.
which one was worse?
Which one was
Which one wins?
Which one wins?
Which one wins
Which
for the
one
worst movie?
wins in this?
How are we counting winning? Are we counting winning as it was the most enjoyable, or is winning the worst?
Okay,
Well-
here I have three. So we'll place it in the most watchable bad movie, the least watchable bad movie, and the most entertaining bad movie.
Okay.
So which was the most entertaining?
Like
For-
the entertaining would be like the most ridiculous.
Which one would you be willing to watch again?
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
I mean, that's Three Ninjas
It's
for
the
me.
ninjas.
And it's also Three Ninjas.
Yeah, by far.
What is the worst bad movie that we watched? Which one would you never watch again given the opportunity to?
Even though I rated it higher, I would not watch Never Too Young.
I
No, I
Same.
would not watch it. No.
Same. And then the least bad movie would be your pick.
Tremors.
Yeah, Tremors 3 as one that we given the option to watch again if we didn't have to. No, but if it was on, you turn it on and watch it. Type of situation.
I do recommend that you watch all three of these, though.
Yeah,
they're
don't-
all entertaining.
Don't just jump in.
They're not good.
Yeah.
They're really not.
They're really not good.
Don't jump in expecting much
Yeah.
The less you expect, the better you'll enjoy it.
Don't be like me and expect a lot out of the D&D movie and then come to find out that the D&D movie was not everything that I had expected it would
It was
be.
ruined for her because she was expecting them to take it a lot more seriously.
And they didn't. And I was just like, oh, this is hot trash. Oh, okay. Thank you.
No, it would be trash if they took it seriously.
That's what happened with
Yeah.
all the other D&D
Yeah,
movies.
they tried to take it seriously. They were bad.
Yeah,
were
but I
really
mean,
bad.
they didn't take this one seriously, and it was not great.
No, it was good.
It was good. I loved it.
No,
You're outvoted.
thank you. That's fine.
You're outvoted by everybody online as well.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. Again, I went into it with the expectation that it was going to be better than it was. Sorry.
We appreciate you guys listening. Use the link in the description and tell us what you thought about these movies after you go and watch them.
Please.
Or don't.
Or don't. Yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah, that's all right.
Save your mental space if you need to, I guess. Well, bye.